welcome back to my channel. Hello, if you're new here, it's lovely to have you. I hope you choose to stick around and subscribe. It's completely free. It just means that I pop up in your subscription box every time I upload a new video. I'm really excited about today's video because I feel like it's just the start of getting back on track. Vlogmas was amazing, don't get me wrong, but it was so much work that I was just glad to have the break between Christmas and New Year. And now I'm back with a little friend, as you'll be able to see, which is really annoying me because I can see it on the camera, but never mind. Today's video is all about my goals that I'm setting for the year, and actually it gives me a little bit of a reminiscent feel to it because I actually wore this jumper for my goals video probably way back in 2017. And it was completely unintentional. I did not choose to put this jumper on because of that reason this morning. I literally just picked a jumper and put it on because it is freezing. Right now, as I film this, it is -3 outside. So yeah, I'm not going outside, but I am trying to keep warm. Now, obviously, setting goals as a parent is a little bit different because you don't necessarily have all that time to dedicate to achieving your goals. So I am actually going to be taking these with a little pinch of salt. And I spoke about this during Vlogmas, where if I don't get something done off of my goals list a particular day, maybe my skincare routine doesn't go quite right, or maybe I forget to take my supplements, maybe a bit like yesterday, I didn't drink enough water, then never mind. I just learn from it and try again the next day. It doesn't matter if you miss a day here or there, as long as you're more consistent, then you will get those goals that you want to achieve. Now, in terms of goals, I've set it up into different sections. I've got it all written down here so I don't forget anything. But understandably, there are going to be goals that are more orientated to family life, things around the home, all sorts like that, as well as sort of professional work type stuff. And then on top of that is obviously my personal goals as well. So I'm hoping this video isn't going to be too long. I'm trying my best. One of my goals, if you like, is to try not to ramble and go off on a tangent too much in my videos. So let's start with me first of all, and I've chosen a few goals that I want to achieve to do with my health. So I'm just gonna read them off and share them with you, I guess. So the first one is eat cleaner. I'm not necessarily going on a diet or anything like that because obviously, let's face it, diets don't work. They work for a little bit of time, and then when you go back to your old habits and routines, they're not going to work because you've just gone backwards. But I would like to eat cleaner. I'd like to eat more fruit, more veg, more wholesome foods as well, more things that are going to fill me up. Cut out the snacking that little bit more because I've definitely eaten my body weight in chocolate and crisps and biscuits and God knows what else over the Christmas period. The next one is less snacking unhealthily. So that is where I plan to get a lot of my fruits in and healthy snacks. I don't like nuts and I don't like a lot of the healthy deemed food. So I don't know how well I'm going to go with that. But I definitely think that's an area that I can get those fruits into me. And who doesn't love snacking on like things like grapes and strawberries, and they're just so moreish when you get started in them. Next up is to take my supplements. This is a really important one for me because I feel so much better when I take my supplements on the inside, and I feel like my skin and things improves as well. So I will continue to take my supplements. I've ordered a new box and I can't wait to start feeling those benefits again because I did stop over Christmas because I actually ran out. I wasn't proactive, I didn't order them and I ran out. So I started again on the 1st and I just want to feel that like good feeling again. Next up is to drink more water. I have got my trusty water bottle that I've actually had for a year now because I bought this as my hospital bag one, and Nelly is coming up to a year nearly, so it's a nice big size. I measured it the other day just to see how much it actually took because it didn't say. It was just a basic one from Aldi. I think I paid like £1.99 or something for it in my mad dash to get everything for my hospital bag, and it measures out to be a litre, so I know I need to drink a couple of those. But drink more water is a big one for me. Then the next one is something that I've always tried to do but I've never achieved it. It's always been one of my goals, and that is to be more consistent with exercise. When it gets to New Year, in previous years, I've always been like, I want to exercise more, I want to be consistent, this, that, and the other. And then I go in hard at it, doing like exercises 5 days a week, which when you go from 0 to 5 is a huge, huge amount. So my plan is to do 3 days a week instead. So I'm going to exercise on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, and I am hoping to go back to the gym as well. So hopefully that will help as well to be a little bit more accountable. But I feel like 3 is just a nice number. It's not getting in the way of life too much, because obviously my life is busy and sometimes you can't fit the exercise in. But thankfully, Grow with Jo and Lucy Wine&Reed do amazing workouts on YouTube. So I'm definitely going to be putting a few of those on, and yeah, just getting back into fitness again, which has been something that I've always enjoyed. And then added to that, I can do things like go for walks and get fresh air and stuff like that. Which brings me on to my next goal, which is to reach my 10,000 steps every day. But again, if I don't happen to reach it a particular day, you know, maybe like today it's absolutely freezing and there's no way on earth I'm stepping outside the front door, then I know that I can either do inside workouts to bump that up. There's a lot of walking workouts and things like that online that I can do. Chasing around after Nelly obviously puts my steps in because she is into everything right now. And added to that, I know that if I do it over the course of a week and say that I want to achieve 70,000 steps over the week, and I fail it on one day, I know that the next day I just need to step it up, maybe go for a longer walk, maybe do an extra workout video or something like that. And yeah, just stick at it, because yeah, I've been failing miserably at my 10,000 steps in recent months. So we're going to do it this year. The next one is to do a daily skincare. Now, obviously, I've had this one. I did have a spot up here as well, and I've had a breakout around here during Vlogmas as well, which you probably would have seen because it looked quite angry for quite a while. So yeah, it definitely spurs me on to take better care of my skin, and not just my face, like my body skin as well, and just get into a routine where I actually look after. I've got so many products sat in the cupboard that I just don't ever use, so I need to get them out, have a look what I've got, see what I need to order. I have actually done a Boots order for some makeup bits to hide this, and that should be coming along very soon. But unfortunately, Royal Mail still has my parcel, so hopefully very soon that will be coming. But yeah, for now I'm just going to shop my cupboards and use things that I haven't used for a little while. I've got so many things that are brand new in there as well that I bought as like a little treat for once I've had the baby, and then the baby was a lot of work and I've never actually treated myself with it. So yeah, definitely to do more skincare and just take better care of myself. And then the last one in terms of like health and things like that is to actually look after my nails. They don't look too bad today. They're freshly painted. I've painted them on New Year's Eve. Literally New Year's Eve, about 11:20 I'm sat painting my nails, but I want to look after them better. I want to continue to file them, shape them, so that they don't like snag on stuff and then they break and then they go really short and they're uncomfortable. Like, I used to have really nice nails, and then pregnancy and having a baby just ruined them, shall we say. A bit like my hair as well. So yeah, I just want to take a little bit better care of them, get them looking nice again, maybe treat myself to getting my nails done professionally at some point. But yeah, so next up is some mental health ideas, because I haven't really spoken about it too much, but since having Nelly, since losing Nan, there was a couple other bits that happened in the year that were quite upsetting that I didn't really speak about because it isn't my place to say. But it definitely all had an effect on my mental health, and there were moments when I struggled, and thankfully Ash was by my side and my family. And I was able to speak openly about how I felt and stuff, which has really helped. But it's definitely been more of an eye-opener into the fact that I need to be more proactive into looking after my mental health as well as my physical health. So to do that, the first point I wanted to do as a goal is to get fresh air every day. Now, this obviously goes in line with having my 10,000 steps a day and being more active and things like that. But some days it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to go for a walk in the fresh air. Like by saying that I want to get fresh air, it could literally mean stepping outside the door for 3 or 4 minutes. Just those few minutes outside. I suppose you could say, like, in the sense of what somebody that smokes and they go outside to smoke, maybe just having those like few minutes just to yourself, away from everybody, to just breathe, if that makes sense. Obviously, I'm not advocating smoking in any way, but just the same amount of time it would take to smoke, just go and stand outside, breathe in that fresh air. Yeah, I just think that's really going to help. So then the next goal is to have dedicated time for me every week, so that I can do what I want. Like that's not including house, that's not including work, like something actually for me, be it have a bath, be it do a workout, go for a walk, listen to music, like with my headphones or something, just zone out and in a sense not be interrupted unless I have to, because a lot of the time Nelly only wants me at the minute. We're going through that phase. So it just means that finding me time can be quite difficult at times. So I really want to work on that. And like I said, I've got so many products that I could probably have a million baths and still not need to buy any products. So yeah, the sooner I start taking some time for me, the better. And then the last one is kind of mental health, kind of family related goal under like the mental health umbrella. Anyway, there are more goals, don't panic. But I need to learn to not do everything myself. I remember seeing years and years ago, there was a quote, I don't know fully what it said, but it was basically the gist of, I moan because nobody helps me clean, but when people offer, I don't want them to because I want to do it because then I know it's done how I like it, kind of thing. And I think I'm a bit like that with everything, where I just think I'll just do it myself. It's easier for me to just crack on and do it rather than stand, explain, then double check that someone's done it right. Like I'm just impatient like that probably. So to help my mental health, I think I need to delegate more, especially to Ash, and just, yeah, not try and do everything myself. On to money, which I think is a goal for so many people in some way. There's always an umbrella of money when it comes to New Year's goals. And for me, obviously, we've moved into this house, which is amazing. We've got so much more space, but somehow we've also got so much more stuff. And I don't quite know how it works. I think part of it is probably lack of storage and things like that, although we didn't really have storage at the flat. But I suppose in hindsight, we did have what was meant to be Nelly's room that just become a dumping ground with a shut door. So that's probably why, to be fair. But I really want to declutter, and obviously then that helps with money because I'm going to try and sell some bits. I've already been selling on Vinted and eBay, which is going okay, to be fair. It was slow to start, but I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere with the sales. I've got so much stuff listed on there. So I'll try my best to remember to link them down below if there's anything that you're interested in. But yeah, I think just by decluttering, it's gonna help us overall. Like I'm filming on my phone at the minute, so I can't show you the messes behind the camera, but I'll try my best to just insert a video clip of what my front room looks like right now, because I've literally just sat to one side and thought, I'm sitting and filming this video, I'm not even touching it. But yeah, there's just so much stuff everywhere. We've taken the decorations down, and yet normally you feel like it's, you know, like all empty and stuff. Mine still feels cluttered right now. Sticking with money, my next goal is to spend less on junk, because I am one of those people that if it's for £1 or something like that, oh, I'll have that. That, you know, that's a bargain. I probably didn't need it. I probably never wanted it, but somehow my brain thinks that because it's cheap, I need it. Whereas if I see, say, a pair of jeans for a tenner, oh no, I'm not paying that much. You know, they might be secondhand, but no, I just won't do it. I'll go to a charity shop and spend probably a maximum of about £2 on a pair of jeans, rather than buying something to either treat myself or something for the home. If it's like more than a £10-15, like you've got no chance. If my like online shopping basket goes up past £30, just no, it doesn't happen. So I kind of want to change that, and I want to spend less money on junk. I'm still going to buy things, but I just want to buy things that aren't so frivolous and that aren't so like cheap and nasty in a way. I want to buy for things to last. A bit like this jumper, to be fair. This is the most expensive jumper I've actually ever owned. It was £25 from ASOS. And I mean, I've already said how many years I've been wearing it. On to the house. Now this obviously is a work in progress. Like I say, it's an absolute state at the minute. We haven't sorted out any of the rooms realistically to be as we want them to be. I think the closest is probably the office, which me and Ash did a couple of days ago. We just went upstairs for an hour and just tackled it together. But it's still not like, it's not a done room. And I don't think there's actually a done room in this whole house at the minute. So I really want to work on the house, because when it gets a bit warmer and nicer outside, I then want to work on the garden. So I don't want to be like tripping over stuff in here because I'm out there, kind of thing. So one of the ways that I want to do this is to set up daily, weekly and monthly like little routines, things that I'll do every day that just keep on top of certain things like cleaning the toilet, you know, boring things like that, tidying up, making sure that all like dirty laundry goes in the actual basket, which, to be fair, Ash is still working on that, I'm not gonna lie. I tripped over a t-shirt this morning and just thought, But things like that, and weekly things could be clean out the fridge once a week. I clean the oven once a week anyway. I always clean my oven on a Monday morning. So if I add like clean the fridge to it on a different day and do that once a week, I can then get rid of any out of date food, which is ready for when my food shop needs packing away, and it's just going to make life so much easier. So I feel like one of my goals is just to have these processes that make things easier, that mean that I'm not juggling so many plates, because I can just come in, put the stuff straight in, and also I'm not buying things that I might have in the cupboard or fridge that have just like dropped down the back or are buried behind like out of date food. Sticking with that theme, I also want to choose one area a month, be it a room, be it a section, like it depends on obviously that particular month, and just have a real good declutter, a real good clean, and just slowly work my way around the house so that maybe by Christmas it's a little bit less all on top of me. And then sticking with that like organisation, decluttering, I really want to get into my loft and organise it. I thought I'd start with the Christmas decorations, so they're all properly labelled, properly boxed and things like that. And that's all I've got started on so far. I really need to sort out all the baby stuff. Like I've got all of Nellie's clothes. I haven't got rid of a single thing of Nellie's. So I've got like the clothes. I've got a sterilising bucket up there because we had two for when we were camping. What else have I got? Her old car seats up there. Like it's just literally everything is up there that she's grown out of over the time. So I really want to sort that out and organise it just in case we have any more, you never know. But I'd like to organise it, and then at least if we're lucky enough to have any more, I can be like, right, I need the box of 0 to 3 clothes, or I need the box of newborn accessories. Like it's just gonna be so much easier. And also added to that, upstairs in the attic there is pretty much all of my toys from my childhood. I've got all my Barbies up there. I've got Animal Rescue? Can anyone remember if you're a 90s baby? Was it Animal Rescue? I've got like the plane, and I've got the little vet van, and I've got the lorry thing, and yeah, there's just so much up there, and that's great because I can gift them to Nellie. And you know, like the Barbies and stuff, they're still relevant. People still buy Barbies. So yeah, I just think it'd be so nice to gift her those in the coming years. But to do that, I kind of need to sort it out because I need to get it in age kind of relevant things. Otherwise I'm going to end up missing stuff, and you know, that's never good. On to more like, I say worky stuff because obviously I do get a little bit of work through YouTube and my blog and stuff like that. So if we start on my blog, I need to update all of my old posts. I've got mentions of my ex in there, which is never good. Just trust me on that. I've got like posts that I know there's spelling mistakes in, it doesn't read right, like the SEO on it, which basically helps my post be found on Google, if you don't know what that means. They're like a low score, and I just want to kind of like revamp it a little bit. So that is one of my goals. Another one, I really want to try and write a month in advance, because life is busy, as I've mentioned many times, and I just feel like by writing in advance I'm not having that last minute scrabble to feel like I've got to put content out there because it's my posting day kind of thing. So at the minute I think I've got 2 posts pretty much ready to go up, but I just need to keep working on that and then just write that little bit in advance. And then if I take a week off, no one's ever going to know. Probably similar to the way that I did in Vlogmas, like I took a couple of days off, you would never have known. Yeah, I just think it takes that pressure off a little bit. Next is I want to host guest posts on there again. I am in talks with a couple of people already to do that. And if you don't know what guest posting means, it basically means somebody writes an article that I then share on my blog. There you get full credit. It's not that I'm saying it's my work or anything like that. And it just supports each other, and it's nice to have that little community spirit, I guess you could say. And yeah, just join in with others. So I'd really like to get back into doing that. And then hopefully by doing all of those things to do with my blog, I might be able to gain more of an income from doing that, because I'd really like to be fair. I've got a little bit of time to push into it. I haven't got loads, but I feel like if I just dedicate myself to it that little bit more, then maybe something might grow from it. Onto my YouTube, I still really want to reach that goal of 1,000 subscribers, because it just helps so much. There's different things that I can do on here. It also gives me a little bit of an income if I can get to there and a certain watch number. Yeah, it would help me in so many ways. And it also it fills me with a little bit of joy. Every time I get a new subscriber, I feel really happy that someone's chosen to stick around and watch my content, and I kind of know that I'm heading in the right direction, if that makes sense. And I also want to put more content out there that is better structured. I feel like some of my vlogs have been a bit hit and miss recently, and it's just been like clips bungled together. It doesn't necessarily make sense to anybody on the outside world. And I just want to have not necessarily themes, but just that little bit more structure, that little bit more, this is what we're doing today, and I'm actually going to remember to show you what I'm doing, not just talk about it and then not show you anything else. So yeah, I need to work on that is for sure. And obviously ramble less, which, I mean, I've been talking for 26 minutes, so we'll see. And I want to add value to my content, and by that I mean doing more product reviews and more maybe tutorials, I don't know, just more things that you as a viewer may learn things from, be it if you're a new parent or an expectant parent and you're wondering what kind of essentials you need. Like, I can give you my recommendations, or I can review something that you might think that sounds great, but it's not for me. So I kind of want to add value in that sort of way. On to Nelly, I really want to get her into a better routine that is very much every day. We've been really hit and miss, I'd probably say, since we moved, because it was hard to get her back into a routine when we moved, because obviously things were different here. So you kind of had to establish a new routine. Ash went through a few jobs, so life was affected in that way, because one of the jobs I was here for the whole evening on my own, so it didn't work in the way that it did at the flat, and various factors like that. And then obviously it was Christmas and we were out doing light trails and markets and other days out and seeing family and things like that, which then meant that you couldn't implement a routine then. So January the 1st, I was like, no, we're getting onto this routine again. We're gonna change it up even more. And I'd say probably today is about the only day so far that we've been on any kind of routine that I think might work for us. And it makes me sad in a way because it means I've got to get up at 6:45 every day to make sure that Nelly is up at 7 so that we can fit in those 2 naps, because trying to fit in 2 naps a day at the minute is just an absolute nightmare. I feel like my mind is just constantly going because I've got to squeeze in 2 naps a day, but it can't be any napping after 4 p.m. because otherwise then it pushes her bedtime later. I've then also got to try and squeeze 3 meals into her, 2 lots of snacks that are healthy-ish, 2 bottles, and actually still do everything that you would normally do in life. So like my mind is just, it's just a constant thing. I'm constantly thinking, right, when does she need to eat? When does she need to sleep? Like this, that, and the other. Yeah, it's intense. So I'm just feeling like if I can get her into a routine that's the same every day, then slowly my mind will maybe switch off in the way that it used to when she used to nap more. Shall we say that? I also want to go back to setting up little stations that Nelly can play with, which I'm actually going to do in a minute. We are currently teaching her all about animals. She had lots of little like farm animals and stuff for Christmas. So we're teaching her about animals at the minute and what noises they make and things like that. And she seems to be really enjoying it. So I kind of want to set up like a little station again and do that. She's also got like a ball pit, which Ash frightened her with the other week. She was fine first of all, and he went to move the balls and it frightened her. So we've had to slowly reintroduce the ball pit again. But I think we're getting there, like on things like that, and just having like different activity stations, whether it's learning about animals, whether it's being in the ball pit, the jumperoo we're still using at the minute. I did a TikTok video the other day that was like a day in the life, and I showed like a sensory basket thing that I'd created just by picking up little bits from around the house and things like that, just like have like a purpose to her day as well, whilst teaching her, whilst entertaining her, whilst trying to stop her from emptying my cupboards. So yeah, just those little stations, because they used to work so well as a newborn, and I think I just need to get back into that mode again. I suppose you could say it's a little bit like a teacher having like a daily plan. I kind of want to know what I'm doing the next day and have like a little play schedule as a rough idea. I'm not going to stick to it completely, but just have like some idea of what we're going to do that day. And then the last thing for Nelly, I want to get her eating better. She's not actually too bad, to be fair. Like, she absolutely adores broccoli. I've never known someone eat so much broccoli in all my life. But yeah, I just want her to have like a full range of tastes that she enjoys. I am aware that I'm coming up to a point where apparently she's going to become really, really fussy. So the longer I can keep her eating various different foods, the better, to be fair. And also added to that, I really need to get her to drink more water. So me and her are going to be doing this water challenge together. Yeah, she got really dehydrated a couple of weeks ago, so I want to try and get her almost like into a routine of drinking her water herself. And I did see a really good way of doing it over on Instagram Reels, where this lady sets a timer for every 20 minutes and she has 5 sips. Now obviously I can't say to Nelly you need to take 5 sips, but whilst I'm taking my 5 sips and she's seeing me drink water, I can hand her a cup and she can have a sip or two, and maybe like associate it that way, so we're kind of helping each other, who knows. But that is my plan with that one. And then on to my last goal, which is something I don't really talk about much on here, surprisingly, because I talk about a lot of my life. But that is to work on mine and Ash's relationship. Don't worry, we're not splitting, you know, we're absolutely fine. I just think that we're in a little bit of a rut, and I think that we need to focus on us as a couple more, because we used to do so many things. And don't get me wrong, last year we did quite a few things as well, but we actually only did one thing without Nelly. That was it. I think since I've had Nelly, I think I've only been away from her twice, I think. The rest of the time she's been with me. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I know that it needs to happen, because otherwise she's not going to let anyone else ever look after her. So to do the relationship kind of goals, I have got do a quiz each week. Now we watch on here, I think he's called Quizmaster Dale, I think, and he does a weekly quiz and a weekly, which ones is it? A weekly pub quiz that we like, and he also does a weekly British quiz as well, which we do really like, but we fail miserably on a lot of the time. At the end of the British one, he does like a score chart thing that, like, depending on your score, like you're this, that, or the other, and ours is always average. It's always average without fail. I think we've only had like a good member of a team or something, which is like the next level up. I think we've had it twice. But they're really good fun. Me and Ash really enjoy it. We have a good laugh. We have maybe like some snacks, and it's just a fun way to spend like half an hour. That's all they are. They're not stupidly long. But it just like is us time, and it's something that we enjoy. And the great thing about it being on YouTube is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home, and when Nellie's asleep we can just pop one on and have a go. Yeah, so I really want to do that like once a week, as if we're doing an actual pub quiz, if that makes sense. Another thing I want to do once a week is to have one phone-free night, because me and Ash are both guilty of it. I'm either working on my blog or my YouTube, or doing stuff to do with Instagram, or catching up with friends, or the worst one is just scrolling. That is my worst one. And I know Ash is the same, because the amount of videos he watches like on Facebook and things, yeah, some of them are really weird. That's all I will say. And I'll look over and I'll think, what the hell are you watching? And he probably does the same to me, to be fair. So I just want like one phone-free night where they're just like put on a table out the way. Obviously not turned off, because if someone needs to get hold of us, then, you know, fair enough. But just to, I don't know, be in each other's company. And the easiest way to do that is to watch a film. So hopefully I might actually get through a lot of the films that are on my bookcase that I've never even watched. But yeah, just focus on us. And the last one in terms of relationship goals is to get out once a month for a date night where Nellie is being looked after and we don't have to worry, and yeah, we can just go out and be us, and, you know, go for a meal or go bowling, or I would say even date day. You would have seen in the last vlog, we took Trix to the beach and to the arcades, and I'd even say that's as a date day. Like, obviously Trix is there, so it's not just me and Ash, but sometimes it's just nice to take her along for the ride. And she's no trouble, to be fair. She's absolutely no trouble. She just stands there and looks at me while we're in the arcades. But doing something as simple as that, we were only out for like 2 or 3 hours. I mean, we probably would have been longer if it wasn't so windy, but it just is nice to do the things that we always used to do pre-Nelly, because that was always our thing. We always used to go out with Trix, and we'd go for walks to places, we'd go exploring. Yeah, and I think Trix misses it, and I think we definitely miss it as well. So I'd quite like to do things like that as well. As your cliche, go for a meal or go bowling or go to the cinema or things like that. I do have a few more goals, which are things to do with my Kelly Aviation channel and things to do with like my goals for social media and stuff, which I'm not actually going to worry about sharing in this, because they're just little things, more like little pointers of how I want to run it and things like that. So with that said, it brings me to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing all about my goals that I'm setting for 2025. I'd love to know what your goals are, so leave them down in the comments below. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.